Hey guys, how are you? Fine, 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 guys. Today is 21 days. 21 days no food. I'm having actually a cup of tea now. I put uh I put a tea bag in here, as you guys can see, and I'm sipping tea. And Angel is we're making coffee, right?
Mm, yeah.
You want to drink coffee, honey?
Yes.
Okay. Angel also wants coffee, guys. We actually just came from the shop. We went down to the Muslim town, Muslim Indian town, and we bought a grinder, Nima grinder, guys. This is a mini grinder. It's not very big, but actually we just managed to. We have this beautiful coffee here, coffee beans, and it's Blue Mountain coffee, Blue Mountain. So we just managed to grind Arabica beans, by the way. We just managed to grind down quite a few beans, and we are making coffee now. I can smell it. It's gonna give me some energy because right now it's almost 6, and we want to go to watch rugby tonight. Rugby, South Africa versus Ireland. So Africa is the world champion in rugby, by the way, and Ireland is now ranked number one in the whole wide world. So it's going to be the two best teams in the world basically playing tonight in about 2 hours. No, it's about 1.5 hours from now. So Angel is now a rugby fan. Angel, you love rugby, right?
Mm,
You like it.
yeah.
Now you understand it, huh?
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
Yes.
You like it.
Mm,
It's action,
mm,
action packed. So Angel like rugby. I used to play rugby for exactly 19 years. 9 years I played rugby since the age of 5, since I was 5 years old. My first game I scored a try, and in my last game when I was 23 I scored another try. But at the age of 24 I had my massive motorcycle accident and I cut my leg really badly. I cut my Achilles tendon. The surgeon told me before the operation that I better prepare myself. I would definitely never play any competitive sports again or any sports again. He said maybe bowling, but anyway, I managed to recover quite well. Well, it took me years and years and years to recover, guys. I would say it took me quite a few years, but I managed to recover. I went to Shaolin. I've been telling you guys stories about Shaolin. So now let me continue. Today, I don't want to tell you stories about Shaolin. I want to tell you a story about my first fast. My very first fast was actually involuntary because I didn't have any money to buy food. I was flying, I think it was in 1997 in Manila. I flew in from Taiwan. I landed in Manila. I was just going to come and apply for my Taiwan visa at the Taiwan visa office in Manila. So I had the document ready from the nearby college. I was studying kung fu there, and they gave me a paper that I'm studying there, and so on and so on. I took it to the. So my plan was arrive on Friday early in the morning, then go to the visa office, give my papers, write down my application, give my study document, then come and pick it up on Monday morning, and then fly back on Monday evening. So 4 days in Manila, that was it, and I just brought enough money for basically 4 days. So on the Friday, I went there, I gave my documents. I said, okay, come back on Monday. On Monday, on the same day, the Friday, I went to Angeles City, which was a very nice, quaint little town at that time. Very, very nice then. And then on Monday I came back, and then I was told my visa was rejected because I don't know, for no reason obviously, but it was just no, you can't get a visa. So oh my God! Now here I am in Philippines, and basically on that Monday I was on my last money, right? Because I just had my return ticket already booked, and so I changed the ticket, and I tried to, and I the next day I had no more money, so I started fasting, no food. And every day I walked. I walked from the hostel. It was in Paranaque. So I walked from there, Paranaque, to to the embassy in um, in town every day, and it was a long fucking walk. I can tell you that. It was about 10 kilometers there, 10 kilometers back. Makati, yeah, it was in Makati, I think. So anyway, every day I walked there and I sat there in a office of the Taiwanese consulate, trying to put pressure on them. So for the first week, they just ignored me. I remember I was walking along, and after 8 days, no food, only water, right? Only water from the tap, not bought water from the tap. In those 16 days, I spent 2 pesos, guys, 2 pesos. But I was walking along one day after 8 days of fasting, and a guy came up and he said, "Sir, give me money. I'm hungry." I said to him, "When did you eat this morning?" He said, "No, I had no food this morning." I said, "Okay, but you ate yesterday, right?" "Yeah, yeah, I had food yesterday, but today nothing." I said, "I didn't eat for 8 days." And I just looked at him, and he looked at me like, "Oh." He fucking ran. He ran away. I think I put the fear of the God in him. He disappeared, and so I kept walking up and down to the embassy. Then, after 12 days, I realized I have to do something. So I tried to call the South African embassy in Taiwan. I tried to call them, reverse charges, and they wouldn't accept it. And then I called the South African embassy in Malaysia, and they actually took my phone call. And I talked to some consul, and I explained the situation. I've been 12 days without food. I'm stranded in Taiwan. I have to get back to Taiwan because I'm stranded in the Philippines, in Manila. I have to get back to Taiwan because all my stuff, my money, everything is there. And then so they were like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, I'm sitting here. I come here every day to the office, in the Taiwan office, and the guards, they all carry shotguns, and they're kind of like a little bit aggressive." And I said to them, "I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really, really desperate, and maybe there's some incident will happen." And they're like, "Okay, calm down, calm down. We will contact the South African embassy, and they will contact the Taiwan government in Taipei." So that they did. So I got a message. So by this time, I actually found out there was no South African embassy in Manila at the time, but they had an honorary consul. And the honorary consul, I found out, but he was not in the Philippines, but his secretary was there, and I could use the office. That's where I made the calls, the reverse charges calls, and I could use the fax machine. And so they received the fax from the South African embassy in Manila that the Taiwan government has given the green light for me to get a visa. So I took that paper to the embassy. That was the 15th day now, without food, and they were like, "No, no, we didn't receive anything from our government, and no, we're not gonna move." So the next day, the 16th day, I was sleeping on a rooftop, you see, in a hostel in Paranaque. The lady there was very kind. She gave me this rooftop, and there was a Taiwanese guy in the embassy, in the hostel. So everybody in the hostel knew my story by then, of course, and this guy heard about my story. So he came to me and he asked me what's going on. I told him, and he says, "Nah, don't worry about it. I will give you a letter of invitation, and I will guarantee your stay in Taiwan. That's all they want." And I said, "Okay." So he wrote the letter for me. He stamped it. He signed it, and did he come with me to the embassy or not? No, I don't remember. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But anyway, on the 16th day, eventually now I got a visa. They said, "Okay, okay, okay, cool. That's the letter." So, and on that day, my master called me. My master, Mario, he sent me also a message, a text message, I think. I think he sent me a text message on my phone. My phone wasn't, no, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a phone then. How did he send me a message? Also via this, I think via the office, the fax. Oh, Frank, how can I help you? Da da da. But he knew it. He knew I was without food for 16 days. I know that he knew it. And then after 16 days, he pretended that he wanted to help me. But anyway, so I've already helped myself by via the Taiwanese guy. Got my visa. That evening, there were two American guys. One was living in the hostel. The other guy was living outside. We became friends, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna take you for a beer," and they took me out, and I just drank that much beer. I'm not kidding you guys, that much beer, and I couldn't walk. They had to like really support me to walk home down the alley, and that was my first fast. 16 days it lasted, so I will always remember that. It was desperate times, really desperate, and the next day, I rescheduled my flight for the next day, and I was out of there, and I went back to Taiwan, and they only gave me a 1 week visa, a 1 week, and I was furious. I was so angry, you know. I went down to the Minister of Foreign Affairs office, huge office. I walked in there and I was like really aggressive, you know. I was like, and I was so furious, you know, that the whole office cleared out. Everybody ran away from their desks. And then after like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, a guy walked in. He's like, "Oh, sir, can I help you?" I said, "Yes, this is the problem that you only gave me a 1 week visa. Now I have to go back to Hong Kong and get another visa there. If you guys refuse me my visa again, I will come here and beat all of you up. Do you understand that?" And I was furious, you know. And he's like, "Okay, sorry, but okay, you just go to Hong Kong and get a visa there." I said, "Make sure never to refuse me that visa, please." "Okay, sorry, you just go." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And I was like, and I walked out and I went to Hong Kong and no questions. They just gave me a 2 months visa as usual. And I went back to Taiwan and I continued staying in Taiwan for another 3 years. Well, the next year I did go to China for 6 months. And then, well, anyway, that's a long story, guys. But that's the short of it. How I did my first fast. The year was 1997, I believe. I believe it was 97. Could have been, I think it was 97. Could have been 98 actually, but I think it was 97. I think it was 97. So this time, and now I have done 21 days, guys. 21 days today. So I'm breaking my record. After that, I did one more. I did fasting every single year, but usually like 10 days, 12 days, sometimes 2 weeks. Sometimes I did several fasts in a year. Sometimes I did like 4 or 5 fasts in a year, but short fast, 10, 12 days, 10, 12 days, 1 week. And it was, in general, if I wanted to do something, get something done in my head, and I had a mental block, I would do a fast. And that would usually help me to break this mental block. And, tea, guys. So this fast went quite well. I think I started to take tea, I think it was after 16 days. So I broke, and then my longest fast after the 16 days was 18 days. So I've broken my record already, 21 days today already. So I've broken my record, and I'm feeling not bad, not great, but not bad, guys, not bad. And now, inevitably, you guys want to know how much longer I'm gonna go for. So my original idea was at least 30 days, minimum 30 days. I think that is within reach, but my longer goal was 40 days, guys. So I'm not saying that's almost 20 days later now to go. Not 100% sure I'm gonna make it to 40 days, but I'm definitely gonna make it to 30 days. This this thing on my skin here, it slowed down a lot, but it's still peeling. This one here has slowed down a lot. Slowed down a lot. I think my memory is getting slightly better. I've lost a lot of weight. I think I'm 90 kilos, 90 kilos yesterday, or a day before. I'm probably around 90 kilos now. And I started so I've lost at least 10, 11, 12 kilos, guys. So that's great. That's good news. I'm feeling not bad, and I'm ready to push harder and harder and harder. So, guys, wish me luck, and I see you guys soon to report some more. Okay? Bye bye.